Hi folks, Chris here. Today I just want to talk quickly about the CAGED system, or how I look at the CAGED system. So for those who aren't familiar, just briefly, the CAGED system is based on the open chords or cowboy chords that we have down here at the nut. So we've got C, A, G, E, and D. So C, A, G, E, D, CAGED. Each of these chords can be barred and moved up and down the neck. I'll give an example of each. So C, A, G, that one's rarely used, it's a bit awkward, at least in that form. You might just play a small amount of the chord, like something like that. E and D. So the names come from the name of the chord when it's in the open position. So even though this chord, for example, is a D chord, we call it a C shape of a D chord. Now the order of the letters C, A, G, E, D are not random. They come from the order that the chords will fall in if you play the same chord in the different shapes up the neck. So if we play the D, for example, and we start in the C shape, so the root is here, and here's the shape. Then the A shape, the root is in the same place. Then the G shape, I'll just play an abridged version of this. So the root is up here. The E shape, again the root is in the same place as the G shape. And finally the D shape, the root is here. So it's an easy way to remember 5 different ways of playing the same chord, the order that they fall in, and how all these connect up and down the neck. Now you can build scales around these chord shapes. I'm not going to go into that today. I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the chord shapes themselves. Another final tip to breaking these down and helping to understand these chords is that they're actually only 2 voicings. One goes forwards and the other goes backwards. So if we take an E chord, for example, and play it in the E shape, the A shape, and the D shape, you'll notice that they're all the same. The A shape and the E shape on top of that have a few extra notes on top of the chord because they start lower down, but the voicing is essentially the same. And the same is true for the G shape and the C shape. So the C shape of the E chord, and the G shape, those are the same notes. The shapes themselves just differ slightly due to the tuning of the B and E strings up here. So that's just a quick overview of how I look at the caged shapes. There are, of course, a few more exotic voicings that you can play on the guitar, but these 5 shapes, or 2 voicings really, allow you to play any basic triad anywhere on the neck. So this might be pretty basic stuff for a lot of you, but hopefully a slightly different perspective will help you to gain a little bit more insight into this basic system of triad chord shapes. So remember to like and subscribe, it helps out a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.